Every morning, before you touch your phone, name 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on abundance instead of lack. Even 10 minutes of reading a book expands your vocabulary, improves focus, and strengthens memory. Your brain grows every time you read. Gratitude is one of the most powerful brain exercises, and yet it is often underestimated because of its simplicity. The act of practicing gratitude daily has the ability to rewire the way the brain perceives the world, and science has proven that it can bring profound mental, emotional, and even physical benefits. When you start your day by acknowledging 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how big or small, you are essentially training your brain to shift its focus away from scarcity and negativity toward abundance and positivity. This shift is not just emotional, it is neurological. The human brain has something known as the reticular activating system, which filters information and directs your focus. When you repeatedly practice gratitude, you condition this system to notice the good around you instead of only the problems, worries, or challenges. Over time, this simple habit rewires neural pathways, making it easier to spot opportunities, solutions, and blessings even in difficult times. In a world where stress, comparison, and dissatisfaction dominate so many minds, gratitude acts as a mental shield. Instead of waking up and immediately being overwhelmed by tasks, deadlines, or social media pressures, starting with gratitude gives your brain a moment of peace and optimism. Imagine writing down that you are grateful for your health, your family, or even the sunshine outside your window. This small act generates a sense of contentment, and that contentment releases dopamine and serotonin, 2 feel-good chemicals that naturally elevate mood and increase resilience. What begins as a mental exercise slowly turns into an emotional anchor, grounding you in positivity throughout the day. Gratitude also reduces the brain's tendency to overthink or magnify problems. When faced with setbacks, a grateful mind can still recognize the lessons hidden in struggles or the support available from loved ones. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means balancing them with the awareness of what's still good and worth holding on to. People who practice gratitude regularly often report lower levels of stress and anxiety because their brains are trained to focus on what is working instead of drowning in what is missing. Gratitude cultivates a sense of enough, which reduces the constant cycle of wanting more, doing more, and never feeling satisfied. It brings the brain into a state of calm appreciation rather than restless pursuit. Another remarkable benefit of gratitude is its impact on relationships. When you consciously express thankfulness toward people around you, your brain releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. This not only strengthens trust and connection, but also makes you more empathetic and compassionate. Stronger relationships, in turn, provide emotional security, which further boosts mental well-being. Gratitude, then, is not just about writing a list in a journal. It is about developing a perspective of appreciation that extends into daily interactions, conversations, and decisions. By starting each morning with gratitude, you plant seeds of positivity that grow throughout the day. The more consistently you practice it, the more your brain adapts to this healthier perspective, making gratitude not just a feeling, but a way of thinking, a habit, and eventually a natural state of mind. Reading is one of the most effective exercises for the brain, and its benefits extend far beyond gaining knowledge or entertainment. When you dedicate even 10 minutes a day to reading, you are engaging in a powerful activity that sharpens focus, strengthens memory, and broadens your perspective. Unlike passive activities such as scrolling on social media or watching television, reading is active. It requires concentration, imagination, and interpretation. Each word and sentence stimulates the brain, forcing it to process information, connect ideas, and store details, which ultimately strengthens neural pathways. This mental workout is like lifting weights for the brain, but instead of building muscle, you are building mental strength, resilience, and agility. One of the greatest benefits of reading daily is the expansion of vocabulary. As you encounter new words, phrases, and expressions, your brain not only learns to recognize them, but also integrates them into your communication skills. This improves how you express yourself, boosts confidence in conversations, and enhances your ability to articulate ideas clearly. Strong vocabulary is not just about sounding intelligent, it is about having the tools to better explain your thoughts and emotions, which deepens both personal and professional interactions. Every book, article, or story becomes a lesson in communication and self-expression. Reading also significantly improves memory and cognitive function. When you read, your brain is required to remember characters, settings, plots, and details, which trains your short-term memory to retain and recall information. Over time, this habit strengthens long-term memory as well, making it easier to remember facts, experiences, and knowledge in your daily life. Studies show that consistent reading can slow down cognitive decline with age, protecting the brain from conditions like dementia and keeping it mentally sharp. Just like puzzles or brain games, reading acts as a preventive exercise that strengthens the mind against forgetfulness. Another powerful impact of reading is the improvement of focus and concentration. In today's fast-paced world, distractions are constant, and the ability to maintain attention is becoming rare. Reading forces you to slow down and focus on one thing at a time. The act of following a storyline, processing information, and staying engaged requires your full attention, which strengthens your ability to concentrate in other areas of life as well. This is why people who read daily often find themselves more productive and less overwhelmed by multitasking. Their brains are trained to give undivided attention, which is a skill that directly contributes to success. Beyond the technical benefits, reading enriches imagination and creativity. As you immerse yourself in stories, your mind creates images, scenarios, and emotions that bring the words to life. This imaginative process enhances problem-solving skills and allows you to think outside the box in real-life situations. By exposing yourself to diverse perspectives, cultures, and ideas through books, you expand your worldview and develop empathy, as reading allows you to step into someone else's experience. In many ways, reading daily is not just an exercise for the brain, but also a journey for the heart and soul, one that continuously develops your character, intelligence, and emotional strength. Learning something new is one of the most effective ways to keep the brain active, engaged, and constantly growing. The human brain thrives on challenges, and every time it is exposed to unfamiliar information or skills, it creates new neural connections that strengthen cognitive abilities. This process, known as neuroplasticity, allows the brain to adapt, rewire, and remain flexible regardless of age. When you take the time to learn a new hobby, language, musical instrument, or even a simple recipe, you are not only gaining a new ability, but also giving your brain the chance to expand its capacity for creativity, problem solving, and critical thinking. Engaging in new learning experiences prevents the brain from falling into stagnation. Repeating the same routine and relying on the same skills over time may bring comfort, but it does little to stimulate mental growth. In contrast, when you step outside your comfort zone and expose yourself to something new, your brain is forced to stretch its limits. This mental stretching improves focus, sharpens attention, and builds resilience. Just like exercising a muscle, the more you challenge your brain, the stronger and more efficient it becomes in handling complex situations and adapting to change. The act of learning something new also boosts confidence and self-esteem. When you accomplish even small milestones, like learning the basics of a new language or mastering the chords of a song, you prove to yourself that growth is possible. This sense of achievement encourages you to continue seeking challenges rather than avoiding them. It creates a positive cycle where the brain craves more knowledge, and in turn, your belief in your own abilities grows stronger. This mindset shift has a profound impact not only on personal development, but also on professional growth, as individuals who embrace lifelong learning are more adaptable, creative, and resourceful in their careers. Learning is also deeply connected to memory improvement. When you acquire new knowledge or skills, the brain is required to absorb, store, and retrieve information. This constant mental activity enhances memory retention and strengthens the pathways responsible for recall. For example, when you study a new language, your brain works to remember vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation, which keeps it active and alert. Similarly, learning to play an instrument trains memory through repetition, coordination, and pattern recognition. These exercises keep the brain sharp and reduce the risk of mental decline over time. Another powerful benefit of learning something new is the increase in creativity. Exposing your mind to different ideas, techniques, and perspectives fuels innovative thinking. It allows you to connect seemingly unrelated concepts, leading to fresh insights and unique solutions. Whether it is painting, cooking, coding, or dancing, every new skill feeds your imagination and helps you approach life's challenges from a broader perspective. The process of learning is not just about acquiring knowledge, it is about cultivating curiosity, resilience, and the courage to explore uncharted territory. The more you challenge your brain with new experiences, the more alive, vibrant, and limitless it becomes. Meditation and mindfulness are among the most transformative exercises for the brain, providing a unique balance between calmness and focus that modern life often steals away. In a world filled with constant noise, distractions, and pressure, the mind rarely gets a chance to pause and breathe. This constant state of busyness drains mental energy, increases stress, and clouds clarity. Practicing mindfulness, even for just a few minutes each day, gives the brain the gift of silence, a space to reset and realign. Meditation trains the mind to focus on the present moment rather than dwelling on past regrets or worrying about the future. By anchoring attention to the here and now, the brain becomes calmer, sharper, and more resilient to challenges. The benefits of mindfulness extend far beyond relaxation. Scientifically, meditation has been shown to reduce the activity of the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for stress and fear, while strengthening the prefrontal cortex, which governs decision-making, focus, and self-control. This means that consistent practice not only reduces anxiety, but also improves the ability to think clearly and make better choices under pressure. It is like fine-tuning the brain so it can work with precision rather than chaos. People who meditate regularly often find themselves less reactive, more thoughtful, and better equipped to handle difficult emotions or situations. Mindfulness also improves attention span and concentration, skills that are increasingly rare in today's fast-paced digital world. With constant notifications and endless streams of information, the brain has become conditioned to seek quick stimulation, leading to shorter focus and lower productivity. Meditation reverses this by training the brain to focus on one thing at a time, such as the breath, a sound, or even a simple mantra. This practice gradually extends into daily life, allowing individuals to give full attention to tasks, conversations, or creative projects without being easily distracted. Over time, this sharpens productivity and creates a deep sense of fulfillment from being fully present in whatever one is doing. Another profound impact of mindfulness is its ability to cultivate emotional intelligence. When you observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, you develop awareness and control over them. Instead of being swept away by anger, fear, or sadness, you learn to acknowledge these feelings while choosing how to respond. This emotional regulation enhances relationships, builds empathy, and strengthens resilience in the face of adversity. By practicing mindfulness, the brain becomes more compassionate, both toward oneself and toward others. The physical benefits of meditation should not be overlooked either. Consistent practice lowers blood pressure, improves sleep quality, and reduces symptoms of stress-related illnesses. Since the brain and body are deeply interconnected, a calm mind directly translates into a healthier body. The beauty of mindfulness lies in its simplicity. It requires no tools, no special environment, only the willingness to pause and breathe. Even 5 minutes of meditation each day can create noticeable changes, making the brain clearer, calmer, and more capable of navigating life with focus and strength. Journaling is one of the simplest yet most effective exercises for the brain, providing clarity, organization, and emotional balance in ways that few other practices can. The act of writing down your thoughts, ideas, and feelings may seem ordinary, but it engages multiple areas of the brain, making it a powerful mental workout. When thoughts are left unexpressed, they often circulate endlessly in the mind, creating confusion, stress, or overthinking. By journaling, you give your thoughts a structure, turning chaos into clarity. The moment pen touches paper, your brain begins to organize and process information differently, allowing you to see patterns, identify solutions, and release mental clutter that may be weighing you down. One of the greatest benefits of journaling is its impact on emotional regulation. Writing provides a safe and private outlet to express emotions that might be difficult to share openly. Whether it is frustration, joy, sadness, or hope, recording these emotions on paper helps the brain process them more effectively. Instead of bottling up feelings or letting them dominate your behavior, journaling allows you to step back and view them with perspective. This practice reduces stress, lowers anxiety, and provides a sense of relief, as though the burden has been lifted simply by expressing it. In this way, journaling becomes a form of therapy, allowing the mind to release negative energy and replace it with understanding and acceptance. Journaling also enhances memory and comprehension. When you write, you are not only recording information but also reinforcing it in your brain. This is why students often remember lessons better when they take notes by hand. The act of writing slows down your thought process, forcing you to pay closer attention and engage more deeply with the subject. This improved focus strengthens memory retention and makes journaling an excellent tool for self-reflection and personal growth. Looking back on past entries, you can observe how your thoughts, feelings, and goals have evolved over time, giving you valuable insight into your own journey. Another key benefit of journaling is its ability to spark creativity. Writing freely without judgment opens the mind to new ideas and perspectives. Many writers, artists, and innovators use journaling as a way to brainstorm or explore concepts without restriction. This practice encourages imagination and innovation, as it allows the brain to wander and connect ideas in unexpected ways. Even if you are not a writer, journaling can unleash creativity in problem solving, goal setting, or personal expression. It becomes a space where your brain can explore possibilities without the pressure of perfection. Journaling also strengthens self-discipline and consistency. Setting aside a few minutes each day to write creates a routine that trains the brain in commitment and reflection. Over time, this habit fosters mindfulness as you become more aware of your daily experiences and how they shape your life. By regularly putting your thoughts on paper, you not only strengthen your brain, but also create a record of growth that reminds you of how far you have come and how much potential still lies ahead. Breaking the routine is a brain exercise that keeps the mind sharp, adaptable, and resilient. The brain is naturally designed to seek comfort in patterns, and while routines bring stability and structure, they can also cause the mind to run on autopilot. When everything becomes predictable, the brain does not need to work as hard, which can limit growth, creativity, and awareness. By deliberately stepping outside of routine and trying new ways of doing things, you challenge your brain to adapt, engage, and stay alert. Even small changes, like taking a different route to work, eating with your non-dominant hand, or rearranging your workspace, force the brain to form new neural connections. These small disruptions may feel insignificant, but they activate mental flexibility and keep your brain from becoming stagnant. Every time you break a routine, you essentially create an opportunity for your brain to learn something new. The unfamiliar requires attention and concentration, which stimulates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and problem-solving. For example, if you attempt to cook a new recipe, your brain must process steps it hasn't memorized, requiring focus and creativity. This not only enhances cognitive performance in the moment, but also strengthens the brain's ability to adapt in other areas of life. It trains your mind to handle uncertainty with confidence, which is a valuable skill in today's fast-changing world. Breaking routines also improves memory and alertness. When you do the same things in the same order every day, your brain begins to perform tasks unconsciously, which is why people often forget details of daily activities. By disrupting patterns, you force your brain to pay attention, thereby improving awareness of your surroundings and boosting memory retention. For instance, walking through a new neighborhood makes you notice details like landmarks, colors, and sounds that you might otherwise ignore. These experiences basis keep your brain active and engaged with the present moment. Another benefit of breaking routines is the boost it provides to creativity. When you expose yourself to new environments, experiences, or methods, your brain connects ideas in fresh ways. A change in perspective often leads to innovative thinking and problem solving. Many breakthroughs and creative insights come from stepping outside the ordinary and trying something unfamiliar. Even small acts, like reading a different genre of book or listening to music you wouldn't normally choose, can inspire new thoughts and spark creativity in unexpected areas of life. Breaking routines also develops resilience. Life rarely follows a perfect script, and those who cling tightly to predictability often struggle when change arises. By practicing flexibility through small daily adjustments, you train your brain to embrace change instead of resisting it. This builds mental strength, making it easier to navigate challenges, adapt to setbacks, and stay calm under pressure. What may seem like small acts of novelty actually prepare the mind for the bigger uncertainties of life, proving that sometimes growth begins by simply stepping out of the comfort zone. Physical exercise is not only essential for the body, but also one of the most powerful tools for enhancing brain health. The brain and body are deeply connected, and when the body moves, the brain thrives. Exercise increases blood flow, delivering more oxygen and nutrients that the brain needs to function at its best. This improves circulation, stimulates the growth of new brain cells, and strengthens connections between them, leading to better memory, sharper focus, and improved overall cognitive performance. Even a simple daily walk has been shown to boost mental clarity and lift mood, proving that you don't need an intense workout routine to experience the brain-enhancing benefits of movement. One of the key ways physical exercise helps the brain is by releasing neurotransmitters such as dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. These chemicals are often called the brain's natural, feel-good substances because they reduce stress, improve mood, and increase motivation. Regular physical activity helps combat anxiety and depression by balancing these chemicals and creating a sense of mental well-being. When your mind is in a positive state, it becomes easier to concentrate, make decisions, and pursue goals with determination. Exercise also reduces the production of cortisol, the stress hormone, which, if left unmanaged, can damage memory and focus. This means that moving your body is also a way of protecting your brain from the negative effects of stress. Physical exercise has a powerful impact on memory and learning. Aerobic activities like jogging, cycling, or swimming stimulate the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. Studies have shown that people who exercise regularly perform better on memory tests and retain information more effectively. This is because physical activity triggers the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that supports the growth and survival of neurons. BDNF essentially acts like fertilizer for the brain, helping it grow stronger and more capable of handling new information. Whether you are a student preparing for exams or a professional learning new skills, exercise can significantly improve your ability to absorb and recall knowledge. Another remarkable benefit of exercise is its ability to improve focus and productivity. Physical activity sharpens concentration by increasing activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain that governs attention, problem solving, and decision making. After a workout, people often feel more energized and clear-headed, which allows them to tackle tasks more efficiently. This is why many successful people include exercise as part of their daily routine. It gives them the mental edge needed to perform at their best. Even short bursts of activity, like stretching or walking during breaks, can reset the brain and restore focus. Beyond cognitive and emotional benefits, exercise builds resilience and discipline. Committing to regular physical activity teaches the brain persistence, consistency, and self-control. These qualities extend beyond fitness, shaping the mindset needed to overcome challenges in all areas of life. Moving the body strengthens not only muscles, but also the mind, proving that every step, stretch, or movement is a step toward greater clarity, confidence, and mental strength. Consistency is the key that transforms simple actions into extraordinary results. And when it comes to brain exercises, It is the factor that determines whether they truly change your life or remain just occasional attempts. The brain responds best to repetition because repeated actions create stronger neural pathways, turning temporary practices into lasting habits. When you commit to small, consistent brain exercises every day, such as reading, journaling, meditation, or gratitude, you gradually train your mind to operate with more clarity, focus, and resilience. It is not the intensity of the effort that brings transformation, but the regularity of it. Just like water shapes a stone through constant flow, consistency shapes the brain into a more powerful and adaptable organ. One of the reasons consistency is so effective is because it reduces decision fatigue. The brain has limited energy for making choices each day, and when an activity becomes a routine, it requires less mental effort to perform. For example, if you make it a habit to read for 10 minutes every morning, it no longer feels like a task that needs negotiation. It becomes automatic. This frees up mental space for other important decisions and keeps you disciplined in maintaining habits that nurture the brain. Over time, this creates a lifestyle where positive practices feel natural rather than forced. Consistency also builds momentum. Each time you follow through on a brain exercise, no matter how small, you reinforce your identity as someone who values growth and mental strength. This self-image pushes you to keep going, even on days when motivation is low. It is not uncommon for people to start with enthusiasm and then quit when the excitement fades. But those who remain consistent understand that progress is not always visible in the beginning. The brain changes gradually, and consistency ensures that those changes accumulate until they become noticeable and impactful. Another important aspect of consistency is that it magnifies results over time. The benefits of a single session of meditation or gratitude are temporary, but when practiced daily, they lead to lasting improvements in emotional regulation, focus, and overall well-being. Similarly, journaling once might bring clarity for the day, but journaling consistently builds a deep awareness of patterns and growth across months or years. This compounding effect is what makes consistency so powerful. The results multiply with time, turning small actions into lifelong transformation. Consistency also strengthens discipline and resilience. By showing up every day, even when it is inconvenient or difficult, you train your brain to overcome excuses and distractions. This mental toughness spills over into other areas of life, giving you the strength to pursue bigger goals and handle challenges with patience. Consistency teaches that success is not about one grand gesture, but about steady, repeated actions that move you closer to your potential. When applied to brain exercises, it ensures that the mind remains sharp, adaptable, and prepared for the demands of life, proving that greatness is built one consistent step at a time. Remember, greatness doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from small, consistent actions. These brain exercises may look simple, but when practiced daily, they make you unstoppable. Don't just live with clarity, focus, and unstoppable energy. Because your brain is your most powerful muscle, and the more you train it, the more limitless you become.